You know the feeling, right? You ask an AI a question and what you get back is completely useless. So you try again, you tweak a few words, and you get another useless answer. And then finally you phrase it just right and click. You get that magic moment. It spits out exactly what you were thinking. Well, what if I told you that moment isn't magic at all? It's a skill. And today, we're going to break it down.
Just look at this. On the left, a super vague request. And you get, a dry, textbook definition. But on the right, a prompt with detail, with context. One gives you a dictionary entry, the other gives you a real-world solution. That's the difference we're talking about. So that's the big question, isn't it? Why is the second one so much better? Is there some secret formula? Some magic set of words you're supposed to use?
Well, the answer is no. It's really not about magic words. It's all about communication. See, the real difference between a prompt that fails and one that succeeds is how well you close the gap between what's in your head and what you've actually typed on the screen. And that brings us to our first big idea today, the information gap. Almost every single time an AI gives you a bad response, it's not because the AI is dumb or broken. It's because something was missing. There was some missing context, a fuzzy goal, or an assumption you have that, of course, the AI couldn't possibly know about. So let's put a name to it. The information gap is literally the space between all that rich, detailed context you have about your problem and the few simple words you actually gave the AI. Learning to be great at prompting is really just learning how to close that gap, piece by piece. It's a total mindset shift from, ugh, the AI doesn't get me, to, okay, how can I be more clear?
So, how do we do it? How do we actually close that gap every time? Well, it turns out there's a blueprint. Every truly great prompt has a basic anatomy, a reliable structure you can use over and over again. And that structure? It's built on just 4 essential pillars, 4 key ingredients.
And here they are: context, task, format, and constraints. When you put these 4 together, your results go from a total crapshoot to totally reliable. Context is all about your situation. Task is the specific job you need done. Format is how you want it to look. And constraints, those are the rules of the game. Let's see how each piece completely changes the outcome.
All right, let's start with a really terrible prompt. Write about social media marketing. And as you'd guess, the result is a generic, boring essay that's not helpful to anyone and has no clue who you are or what you actually need.
Now, just watch what happens when we add one thing: context. We just say, I'm a small bakery owner with no marketing experience. Bam! Instantly, the entire response changes. It's now focused on small businesses, on local customers. That is a massive improvement with just one sentence. Okay, next up, let's add a clear task. Instead of just write about it, we get specific. Explain the 3 most effective strategies for local food businesses. See what happened? The AI just went from giving a vague summary to providing specific, actionable strategies you can actually use for your bakery. Adding the format is another game changer. Format this as a bulleted list with action steps for each. This simple instruction takes a big wall of text and turns it into something organized, easy to scan, and immediately useful. This is something you can actually work with. And finally, we add our constraints. Keep it beginner-friendly and focus on free methods. And just like that, we've got it. The perfect result. It's tailored to the business, the user's experience level, and their budget. The information gap is officially closed. Okay, so mastering that 4-part structure is huge, but what if I told you there's a shortcut? A way to get better, faster, and to figure out what went wrong when your prompts don't work? This is probably the single most powerful technique you're not using yet. Just let that sink in for a second. Ask the AI to help you write better prompts for the AI. It sounds a little weird, a little circular, right? Well, it is, and it works unbelievably well. I mean, who knows better what the AI needs to hear than the AI itself? This whole technique has a name. It's called meta prompting. It's where you use the AI to diagnose, to debug, and to improve your own prompts. Think of it like this. You're turning the AI into your own personal coach, one who knows exactly what the system needs to give you what you want. It's your secret weapon.
Let's make this real. Imagine a developer trying to write some code. They're asking the AI for help, but it's just not working. This is the perfect time for a little meta-prompting coaching session.
So the developer starts with this super vague prompt: write a function to process data.
The AI has no idea what to do, so it gives back this useless generic template that doesn't actually do anything. It's a classic information gap failure.
But instead of getting frustrated and trying again, the developer uses the AI coach method. They say, look, here's what I asked, but here's what I actually needed. And then, this is the crucial part. They ask, can you help me rewrite my prompt to get a better result? That one question changes the entire game.
And look at the AI's diagnosis. It's crystal clear. It points out exactly what was missing. No context, no specifics, no requirements. It's not just fixing the prompt, it's teaching the user why their original prompt didn't work in the first place.
And the payoff? When the developer uses that new, improved prompt that the AI helped them write, they get perfect, working code that solves their exact problem. First try. That is the power of having a coach on your team.
So, the big question is, how do we make this a regular habit? The key is to stop thinking of it as a clever trick and start seeing it as a new way of working, a new way to collaborate with AI.
Adopting this coaching mindset really just comes down to a few things. First, be honest. Show the AI what you tried and explain why it didn't work. Second, always ask why. Don't just take the better prompt. Ask the AI to explain the principles behind it so you learn for next time. And finally, test its suggestions. Treat it like a real back-and-forth conversation.
So it turns out getting brilliant results from AI isn't about some secret magic spell. It's about clear communication. And now you know the secret to turning the AI from a frustrating tool into your own personal coach. The only question left is, what problem are you going to go solve first?